Alright, Shalom, Yahbashim Nashabak Thah, Yahweh Shamar Thah Bashim Yahushai. This is the Isupk Florida Sabbath service. With that, I'm going to say Amaju, Wahapa Hakwadam, which means stand and face the east. So go to Horn. We'll start off with the Lord's Prayer. And you just repeat after me. I'll say it in Hebrew, and then first we'll say it in English. Again, this is the Lord's Prayer. Abadawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Haya, Shemka, Malakuka, Laba'a, Ratazaka, Haya, Aisha, Baharataza, Kawa, Haya, Bashamayim, Latananawa, Lakam, Kal, Yawam, Wasalak Lanawa, Kawawath Nawa, Kasalak Nawa, Kawawathya Nawa, Wala'a, Sabiyahaya Nawa, Banasana 1, Habal, Hayashaya Nawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha'ala, Wahatha Parawith, Laiwalumium, Amen. Okay, we said in English is our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. So be it. Our next prayer will be a cup, or in English, the power. Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Babakashah, Nathananawa, Hakap, Larpa'ah, Kal Makalah, Wakal Madawa, Hakap, La Tahar, Hamath Uraim, Hakap, La Hakwim, Hamath Allah, Hamathium, Hakap, Arikaras, Hamath Ya'ala, Lagarshin, Bashim Yahushai. Tawada. Amen. Okay, in the English is Yahweh. In the name of Yahushai, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all disease, the power that cleans the leper, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out. In the name of Yahushai. Thank you. So be it. Next prayer will be the blessings of Barak. Barakatah Yahweh wa Yahushai. Wa Maka Allah. Wa Allahayim. Matazabiyah. Alawamp Yahana. Ha Alawampyam. Ha Saranyam. Ha Kwazatayanyam. Ha Kakayayam. Wa Ha Akwatian. Yahweh. Bashim Yahushai. The water. Amen. Okay, in the English is bless you, Yahweh. And Yahushai. And Michael. And the angels, Commanding General Yohanan, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai, thank you. So be it. Next prayer will be Psalms 121. Ayasha'ah, Ayanya, Ahariam, My Ayan, Yaba'ah, Isaiah, Ma'an, Yahweh, Aisha, Shamayam Waharatza, Alyanathan, Lamawat Regalga, Alyanawam, Shamarka, Ahanalit, Hana La'a, Yanawam, Wala'a, Yayashun, Shawamar Yasha'ala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Alyan, Yumyunka, Yawamum, Hashamash, La'a, Kakalka, Wayarak, Balayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makarai, Yashamar, Ashnapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taza'athka, Wabawa'athka, Myaitha, Wa Awalam. In the English is, I will lift up my eyes into the hills, for which cometh forth my help coming from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth, and even forevermore. Okay, next prayer is going to be Psalms 83 in Hebrew. Alahayim, al damayelaka, al takarash, wa al ashqat, al kanya hana, yahami kawam. It's like Hawamika, Yahama Yawan, Wama Shanayaka, Nasha Awa, Ra'ash, Awaimaka, Yaiwa Yamwa, Sawad, Waya Atha, Waya Thai, it's like Waya Tha, Waya Slaki, Waya Tha Atazawa, Altasaka Wanyika, or Marwa, Lakawa, Wana Kunkium, Magolia, Wala A, Yazakar, Shum Yasha Allah, Iwad, Kaya, Nawa Aitazawa, Lawad, Yakadwa, Al Yaka, or Yath, Yakawabwa, Al Yanawam, Adawam, Wayashma Alam, Mawa Awa, Wahagorium, Gabal, Wayamalan, Wayamalat, Palashah, Ain Yashabia, Tazawo, Gamashawo, Nalawa, Ain Hayawa, Zarawa, Labanyalawa, Shalah, Aisha Lahum, Kamadian, Kasa Yasara'a, Kayabian, Banakal, Parashuan, Na Shamadwa, Ba'ayan Baya'an Da'ara, Hayawa, Dama, Lahadama, Shayatamwa, Nadayabmua, Ka'arab, Wakaza Abak, Wakaza Abak, Waka Taza Mana, Ka Naski Kamwa, Ashar, Amarwa, Na Yashara, Nalawa, Ath, Nahawath, Alahayim, Alahaya, Shayatamwa, Kagawin, Kakwash, Lapanyurika, Ka'ash, Kaba'ira Yaira, Wakala Abba, Thelahat, Harim, Khan, Saradatma, Basa Irika, Wabasa Wapathka, Fabalahum, Mala'a Panyahum, Kwalawan, Waya Bashwa, Shemka Yahawa, Waya Yabashwa, Waya Abawa, Ai, Waya Aparwa, Waya Abadwa, Waya Aidwa, Kaya, Asa, Shemka Yahawa, Labadka, Al Yawum, Al Kaha, Haratazah. Alright. This is basically Psalms 83 in the English. Keep not thy silence, O God, and hold not thy peace. And be not still, O God, for lo, thy enemies make a tumult. And they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against our people, and consulted against our hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. They have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites, of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gabal and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur is also joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot Salah. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin of the river Kasan, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like a rail, and like Zael. Yea, all their prince, as Zabak, and as Munna, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession. O my God, make them like a wheel, as a stove before the wind, and as a fire burneth the wood, and as a flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy stone. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name, O Lord. Let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou whose name alone is Yahweh, art the Most High over all the earth. All right. So with that, I'll say Yeshavia, which means be seated, and then we'll basically go into Ezekiel chapter. What we at? 22. We'll start at verse 8. Of course, we always start in the Hebrew, and then we'll go into the English, and of course, the breakdown. All right, so here we go. Ezekiel chapter 22, verse 8. Give me a second. Okay, Salaki. Here, this is Ezekiel chapter 22, verse 8. Quadashaya, Baziath, Wa'ath, Shabbathaya, Lalath, Anashaya, Anashaya, Swati, Rakayal, Hayat, Ba, Lama Iwan, Shapak, Dam, Wa'al, Ha Harayim, Akala, Ba, Zama, Aishawa, Bathbuka, Iwath, Ba, Dala, Baka, Tamaath, Ha, Nada, Ainwa, Ka, Wa Ayash, Ath, Aisha, Ra'aywa. Aisha. Sa Iowa Bath. It's like the Iowa Bath. Wa Ayash As Kalo Sawat Tama'a Ba Zama Wa Ayash As it's like Akata Akatawa Bath Abaya Abayiwa Aina Ba Ban it's like Shakad Lakwa Kawa Ban Lama Iwan Shapak Dam Nasha Nasha Wa Thara Bayath Lakukath Wa Ta Ba Taza Ayat Ra'ayat Ba Aisha Wa'a Tayat Shaka Shakapath Na Ama Amanaya Yahweh Wa Anaya Ha Kaya Thaya it's like it. Ha Kayathya Kaparya How Bataza Ayat Ashar Aishiyat Wa Ai Damak Ashar Hayewa Basa Waka Ha Ya Aimad Labak Aima Tha Kazakwa Na Yada Yada Sluggy Yad Yak Lamayim Ashar Anaya Ashar Ayawaska Anaya Yahweh Da Baro Sluggy the Barathia Wa Aishayathia in the English. Again, this is Ezekiel chapter 22 and verse 8. Ezekiel chapter 22, verse 8. Thou hast despised my holy things, and hast profaned my Sabbath. And thee are men that carry tails to shed blood, and indeed they eat upon the mountains. In the midst of thee, thy commit lewdness. Verse 10. In thee have thy discovered thy father's nakedness. In thee have thy humbled her with slacking. In thee have thy humbled her that was set apart for pollution. And one hath committed abominations with his neighbor's wife, and another hath lewdly defiled his daughter-in-law, and another in thee hath humbled his sister, his father's daughters. In thee have they taken gifts to shed blood. Thou hast taken usury and increase, and thou hast grievously gained for thy neighbor, and thou hast grievously gained of thy neighbors by extortion, and has forgiven me, and has forgotten me, saith the Lord. Okay, so there's no, no secret to what's going on here. It's something that Israel, we have always dealt with, taking on the other nations and how they live. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have problems in our community, not just because we don't have a law to help govern. In any land you in, you need a law to help govern. America even take their laws from our records. All right. So we have taken on a different culture in terms of, instead of coming back to the scriptures in the Bible, we go after the customs and the culture of other nations. All right, to extort from your brother, interest. Charging your brother interest. You know what I'm saying? Charging. Destroying. That nuclear core in the family by assaulting one family and not expecting the right to be wrong. You know what I'm saying? This is something that even today as black people, like, we don't get the point of the scriptures. We don't get the point of why the Most High says don't integrate us with other nations, because we started doing what they do. You know what I'm saying? Any nation, like us without the Bible, us without the Most High choosing us and giving us the law, we act just like any other nation. Like, we'll go ahead and we'll sin and we'll do things that any human would do. Okay? But in our case, we have laws that keep you from sleeping, breaking the family up. You know what I'm saying? Thou shalt not commit adultery. It's a reason why you shouldn't commit adultery. You have to remember, in any general case, you have a husband, wife, and you may have kids. If I'm a brother and you go over there or you're a brother, you go over there and you take another brother's wife, and you know she belongs to this man, you also just took the mother of these children. You also just took the daughter of someone's mother or father. You took somebody's sister, somebody's auntie, and in the land, that person, they were stoned in the land. But the immediate damage comes to the children. Their mother is now under the command of another person, because that family is broken. You know what I'm saying? And this is what we don't realize, where, the so-called man, he going out, I think it was a brother not too long ago that was murdered for sleeping with, another man's woman, technically. And the reason I say it like that, okay, is because on one end, the sister's like, oh, I don't want to be with him no more. But the man ain't agreeing with that. You know what I'm saying? They still, as far as he's concerned, they're still in another relationship. So you go and you sneak in there and you don't ask this woman. I tell it to y'all sisters all the time. The first thing, if a brother, if you a woman in general, and a brother trying to spit game to you, if he don't ask you if you married, you need to run. If he trying to talk to you and he don't ask you first if you take it, this is a wicked man. All right, and you see the you see the consequences in the ghetto, in the hood, and where our people reside when we don't follow these laws. Brother got murdered after laying down with technically another man's wife. And it's so important that women, you got this doctrine of hot girl summer, where you go out and even though you taken off the market, you go out and you sleep with, I guess, as many as men as you want, or you go and you sleep with some guy that you think good looking. You know what I'm saying? Which is such a selfish thing, to be joined on to somebody, and because you want to have fun this summer, you go and give your body to another man, and somehow in your mind you feel that this is going to help your life, and you go out and you have temporary pleasure and live the rest of your life in complete disaster. All right. And this is what the Most High is telling us. Even brothers who go out and do that, or sisters go out and do that, this is what destroys our community. This is why there's so much distrust. This is why there's so much resentment, so much hate, because we continue to sin each other, because we think any culture but our own. And like when I say any culture, I mean, according to the Bible, blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians being the 12 tribes of Israel, and us following the laws of God. We think that their lifestyle is better than us. Like I remember a long time ago, they used to have a show. It was called Sex in the City, where these single women just go out and have sex, and they single and they don't belong to nobody. And believe it or not, a lot of those TV shows back in the 90s, we've adopted those TV shows, but we forgot about the shows. And we live that culture, you know what I'm saying? We live that culture, and it's what destroys us this very day. You having a fun summer, or you a man, you want to go out and hang out with the brothers. I mean, if you want another wife out, just get another wife. Like, I know why you don't do that, because you know that the woman you with is an absolute monster, and you tell her that you got another wife, and the Christian church taught her to be a monster to you and put you on child support, and everything that you work for, if you have anything, is going to be taken by her, and then she's going to go and sleep with another man. I understand it 100%. This is why you got to come and get out of the world, get in the Isupk, and find a woman that's not going to take everything that you got just because you got another woman. That's what you should do. Leave the women that think like that alone. Let the Lord deal with them. You find a woman that's going to let you build your legacy. However, the same thing with the sisters. You go out and get some brother that he, think he's supposed to sleep with everything that move, and has no self-control, right? He has no self-control. You at home, he at the club, breaking down every woman he can get. And then he come and bring you home something that you probably don't deserve, but you going to get it because you picked a foolish leader. You know what I'm saying? This is why every child, should instead of being in the Christian church, you should be in the Sabbath service. Learning your history, learning these, understanding what the prophets did, also learning your language. It's crucial for you to have this in this world. This is the only reason why you're here. You're not here to have a good time. You're not put in no place to have a good time. You're here to serve the Lord, and you can't do that unless you have, priests breaking these scriptures down, men who aren't trying to take gain, who ain't trying to get a certain status, who not trying to, build up their repertoire or whatever what have you, line up their pockets. You gotta have men who want to judge righteously, who are going to give you this understanding perfectly, man. Like Ezekiel went through the exact same thing, where he's dealing with our people who think that to live amongst Africans and do all the things that they, of course they weren't called Africans in that time, but to live the way they want it to be lived, live the way how they live is something big, and it's going to make your life great because it gives you temporary pleasure, and it's just not, it's just going to be a loop, or you finding new things to make yourself feel good when you can just do the right thing, build some strength, build some self-control, and do the right thing. If you're a man and you want to get more than one wife, get more than one wife, but lead those sisters if that's what you're trying to do. And if you're a sister and you got a particular brother that you're trying to get down with, well, then go get that man that you really want, as long as he's a man of the Lord, and he's gonna keep these, he's gonna keep that duty of marriage to you, and forget about all that other stuff that you see on TV. All that stuff is really, it's put there because somebody's behind making some kind of money. When you look at a lot of these rappers, they don't do this for free, per se. Like, they're doing this because you can get money. And they're preying off of those younger generations who we know by design in this country and even abroad with our people, that the adults who are responsible and the ones that want to stand up are going to be forced to stand back some kind of way. And or you're going to be at work while your child is watching Cardi B on TV and learning how to be an absolute monster. While your, son is listening to some monster on the radio and teaching him how to go and sleep with other people's wives while they at work. And he thinks it's a lifestyle because it's embraced in our community to be wicked as hell and to be as wicked as you can be, and meanwhile we on the bottom in every category. All right. So I mean, I can go on for years on this subject in all our communities, Black, Hispanic, and Native American communities, on all the stuff we don't do, and we just read it right here in the Bible. You know, us just taking advantage of your close ones, which means your immediate family, and then us taking advantage of even your brother in the neighborhood, your neighbor. You know what I'm saying? You know, we always trying to one up over our brother or our sister to make ourselves look good, and it just never ends well. You know, when we're not dealing with the Most High. All right. So, Salaki, let me get back to verse 11 or 12. Salaki. And thee have thy taken gifts to shed blood. Thou hast taken usury and incense. Oh, Salaki. Verse 13. Behold, therefore I have smitten my hand at thy dishonest gain which thou hast made, and at thy blood which have been in the midst of thee. Can thy heart endure, or can thy hands be strong in the days that I shall deal with thee? I, the Lord, have spoken it and will do it. You know what I'm saying? And this is what we don't understand about, you know, the Most High. You know, the Christian church, you know, they put that Caesar Borgia up in there and make you think that all your wickedness is approved by the Lord, and it's just not. You know, it's not approved by the Lord. The Lord don't like your lifestyle, and this is why there is ghetto. I mean, it's like there is judgment in the ghetto, and there's judgment in the barrio, and everywhere we go. When you move to the so-called rich neighborhood, there's gonna be judgment there too, because you're not here to have a good time and party and do what other nations do. You're here to learn the laws of the Most High and keep them. You know what I'm saying? Your job here is to be that ruling nation, to stop wars like what's going over there in Ukraine. That's your position. You're supposed to stop all the famine in Africa. You're supposed to stop other nations from going to Africa and pillaging the land and taking it back to their nation so they can go to war with another nation. And the resources are supposed to be distributed equally so that people can eat according to their land, not so that America and China can be the world superpowers. But the people who's supposed to be doing this, the people who, you know, are supposed to run the earth, we just good with, you know, shucking and jiving in the church on Sunday. You know, you go in there, you can eat greens and sweet potatoes and turkey leg and pork for the last 50 years of your life. And that's what you go in that church and do every single week. Eat the same food that you ate last week and for Thanksgiving and for Christmas, 4th of July, the same food every day, and we just satisfied with that. You know, just give us some pork, civil rights, and you know, some of us will get a few jobs, and you happy. Let you go and spend your stimulus check on some Jordans, and then you happy. And the Lord is not pleased with the nation of Yasha'Allah. You blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, the Lord is not pleased with just giving you the crumbs off the slave master's, you know, table. Like, we here for a bigger reason. We here for a better reason, you know, to make sure that this earth run the way it's supposed to run. All right. So we'll start with verse 15 in the Hebrew. Salaki. Verse 15. Wahapaya taza watya wathak bagawayam wa tazar yakya baha ratazawath wa hatha slaki wa hatha wa hamathya slaki tama hatha mama slaki wana kalask ban laai la ayanawa, la ayanaya, gawayam, wa yad ayas, kaya, hanakya yahawa, wahaya, dabar, yahawa, alaya la amor, ban, adam, wa aya, laya, bayas, yasha Allah, lasa was, slaki, lasa wagal, lasa yaga, khayam, slaki, kalam, na kalshaf, wabad ya'al, wabazal, wa'ai, waparath, bathu, slaki, weird, basbuka, kawur, sagayam, khasa, hayiwa, lakan, kana, kaha, shamar, ada, slagi, ada naya, yahawa, ayan, hayawath, kalakam, lasa gayam, lakam, hana naya, kwa batza, askim, al, thawak, ya, ra, ya, rush, wa shalom, kwabtazath, kasat, wana kashath, wa barzal, wa ai, wa parath, wa bayal, al, tharakat, kawu, la kasa, ayla yawa, as, la halath, halathiyal, slaki, kan, hakwa bataza, ba, slaki, ba, ha, panya, wa, bakamathya, wa, ha, nakathya, wa, ha, thakathya, ha, thakam, wa, kana, sathya, askam, wala, haskafya, slaki, kafya, ailikam, ba, asha, abarathya, wa, natha, slaki, Wanasyakum. Ba Sawa Baswakam. Ka Ha Sa Waka Sa Kasab Baswaka Kawu Khan Sa Sawaka Sawakan Sawakawa Baswaka Waya the Isupk Kaya Anakal Yahweh Shabbos Kaya Shapat Kaya Kamasya Ayakum Waya Haya Debar Yahweh Aliyah La Amar Bayan Adam Ashar Amar La'a Ath Aratiza La'a Mata Hara Haya La'a Gashima Maya Wum Ta'ai Za Ayim Koshar Naba Ya'aya Ba'ath Waka Ka Iriya Shawa Aga Tara Napash Akawa Kasapa Waikwa Yakwa Kawa Alamanayakwa Ara Bawa Baswaka. All right, in the English, select. We left off on verse 15. So this is Ezekiel chapter 22, verse 15. And I will scatter thee among the heathen, and disperse thee in the countries. I will consume thy filthiness out of thee. Again, I just went into that where, why you in America? Like, why you in Puerto Rico? Why you in the Netherlands, the United Kingdom? Why you in these areas amongst these people, and we have so little power? Like, you were scattered there so that the punishment will remove the wickedness that we've been going through for a while. The point is, for the Lord is trying to get his chosen nation to understand that, being like the Egyptians is not going to make you fulfill your role on earth. Being like the Greeks is not going to make your role, or your, that's not why you're here. It's not going to make, it's not going to solve the problems in the world in general. It's not going to do that. Like, you're not here to be like the other nations. You are here to follow the commandments of the Most High. And when we say follow the commandments of the Most High, we mean the actual structure that the Lord gave us in the Bible, to follow the laws in all the giving, the understanding, and of course Christ bringing the spirit of the law. You know what I'm saying? To help bring and keep that brotherhood and that sisterhood gel together. You know what I'm saying? You in America, you in Puerto Rico and Mexico, not because, you're a great and excellent person, but because, the Lord will bring a judgment amongst us to rid out the wickedness. Like, we are figuring out right now in America that civil rights don't work. Even with moving to, of course we just separate, but if you're going to separate and still live exactly like your oppressor is going to be back in your neighborhood. Your oppressor is going to attack. Your oppressor is going to do whatever they can to make sure you come down. We've seen it firsthand in America. It's in history. In every land we went to, we fled to, and we chose to not live like the Lord wanted us to live. We always figured out the hard way that we were even taken down, either whether it was a straight up attack, whether we let the heathens come in and adopted their culture, which is generally what we do, or whether it was someone inside that didn't want to show brotherhood and didn't want to show sisterhood, was only thinking about themselves, and the nation completely crumbled. You know what I'm saying? So getting back to the Lord and keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments is the imperative and the essential thing, and the only thing. You know what I'm saying? All right, verse 16. And thou shalt take thine inheritance in thyself in the sight of the heathen, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord. Like we sit back and we watch all the other nations. I mean, and when you look at it, when you look at your oppressor who dominates, we'll just deal with America, right? In itself. Your oppressor he dominates all the 4 states of what they call 4 states of America, right? Not only does he that, but he passes that same crumbs, some of those same crumbs, to the so-called African man, the East Indian man, the Chinese, all the Asians, and all those Arabic people come from different countries, and they come and feast right on right on top of us as well. Like when we say we get the crumbs, we really get the crumbs of this kingdom. You know what I'm saying? You got all these other people who got their hands out, who come over before us. Like even when you look at Ukraine, and all those people who left from Ukraine, and they were probably in a poor state in Ukraine, and they probably deserve to be in a poor state because they probably ain't got no talent. They just regular people who don't produce and do nothing. But they'll come to America and they'll be first-class citizens in America. They'll get perfect financing to get houses, to get jobs, to get education. Here, meanwhile, you've been here over 400 plus years, nearly 500 in captivity, and you got nothing past that. We got no inheritance for being in Christianity. None whatsoever. Nothing positive to help your life. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, they come in no time, and they already getting all kind of education grants and houses, and they get everything that you would need to live. You know what I'm saying? Everything you would need to live. And we're showing right now, like the Lord is showing us, that serving another God won't make your life better. Like even when you look at the rich of our nation, they suffer as much as we do. Go and look at how the rich, when they pass away, and look at the poor. There's really no difference. Drug addicts, some fight, somebody slept with somebody's girl, and it's the same thing whether you rich or poor. It's the exact same thing. Like trying to escape the Most High is, of course, impossible, and you're a fool if you think you could do it just because you got some money. You a fool, you think you could do it just because you hit buddy with your oppressor, or any oppressor for that matter. You're an absolute fool to think that you can somehow escape what the Lord trying to do with his chosen people, which is to get us to see, and understand why is it so important, or one of the reasons why it's so important that these laws, statutes, and commandments are kept, not only for the nation, not only for us to, but for us to fulfill that purpose of being the Most High's chosen, and making sure that this planet is in complete peace. Because if we don't do something, if the Lord don't do something, they're going to destroy everything. These heathens will destroy everything, including us with it. They'll destroy everything, especially though your oppressor here in America. He's going to, anything they got to do with money, he's with it. If it make money, they don't care. If they could sell air to you, they do it. You would get your air cut off if they could do it. And when I say air, I mean the air you breathing. If they could find a way to monopolize the air that goes in your lungs, they would do it, and you'd have to pay them. And if you didn't pay them, they'll have some kind of insurance policy program for people, and they'll be making money on the front end, and then we making money on the back end. Like, this is the devil that we serve, and this is the devil that we've learned to worship and to follow their ways, man, and to be violent in our communities, and to hate your brother, and to hate your sister, and to just not care, but only profit for yourself. And that's the selfish culture. I mean, you hear black people say it all the time, where we normalize, I'm gonna do me, you do you. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no brotherhood in that. Ain't no brotherhood in don't worry about me. When you got mental illness and you need some help. Ain't no sisterhood in that. Ain't no brotherhood and sisterhood when you think it's because you sit in the room by yourself and get high that's solving your problems. That's not solving your problems. You just trying to make it to the next day. You trying to make it to the next holiday. You know what I'm saying? You trying to make it to whatever makes you feel good. You're just trying to make it to the next one, and you're not getting those real issues resolved. And you probably don't even understand what you're going through. And this is what's being passed down, where we have grown folks with mental illness, and they're passing some of these traits or some of these ways of life to their children. You know what I'm saying? Because kids just see stuff. Kids don't know, okay, I ain't supposed to do that. You know how many times I didn't spoke with brothers on the road, in the road or whatever, and they ain't even pick a Bible in their life. They don't even know what the Bible is. You know what I'm saying? They have no idea that they ain't supposed to eat a certain way. No idea that they ain't supposed to live a certain way. You know what I'm saying? This is what Christianity has done, telling us that the law is done away with and we should just, be happy, feel good, and do what feels good. You know what I'm saying? Now we've handed that down to our kids because we want to be more like other nations and we want to live like them, not understanding that they don't live great either. I mean, look at their communities. Yeah, it may not be violence and drugs all over, but inside them houses, it's hell going on inside them houses in them communities. Abuse and neglect, and of course we know that they can't stand the children of Israel. It's being taught. It's being taught from the bottom to the top, and they come out and they go and vote for, governors and presidents and legislators so that they can pass laws that not only destroy us and prevent us from building, but it also is, it's what they desire truly. It's what they really want. It's the people they really is. You know what I'm saying? That's why we say, your oppressor is the devil the Bible speaks of. They deal wisely with us. They don't just come out and just do it so much. They go into some back room and, come up with some law and then put it in some legalese language that you don't understand. And then you try to go get justice and, the law, that ain't the law. The law is this now. The law is that. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, you shucking and jiving and dancing and trying to find the next club to go to, and they planning your destruction for the next 2 years. All right, so I can keep going. We got about 5 more minutes. I got about 3 more verses. Verse 16. And thou shalt take thy inheritance in thy, 17. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, the house of Israel is to me become dross, and they are brass and tin and iron, and lead in the midst of the furnace. They are even the dross of silver. Therefore thus saith the Lord God, because ye are all become dross, behold, therefore I will gather you into the midst of Jerusalem. And as they gather silver and brass and iron and lead and tin into the midst of the furnace, to blow the fire upon it, to melt it, so will I gather you in my anger and in my fury, and I will leave you there and melt you, right? Like, that is so true. Like, the Lord is gathering the nation of Israel right now, and we are going through complete hell. And that hell isn't because we evil. It ain't just because, the Lord just mad for no reason. It's a main reason is to get this wicked doctrine that we've been raised on out of us, right? We gotta remove that if we want better. Like, if you want a place of your own, and you Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, and you don't like the condition of your people, you don't like the condition of how we're treated on this earth, you have to do something first. You have to clean up yourself. And if every Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian clean themselves up, then we're ready to move into a land that's ours. But the Lord is saying, look, I'm going to get this wickedness out of you. I'm gonna get. I mean, you're gonna know that I'm the Most High. Like when COVID-19 hit, everybody completely realized that those vain things that you was dreaming of before and thought of before, they wasn't so important no more. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a great thing to to be flossing and doing all that. Or what was going on before COVID. It's like you realize that there was a bigger power and a bigger plan to life than your own selfish desires. All right, and it's like and that's what the Lord wants us to see. He want to remove this. He wants to separate, but not just any kind of separate. And he ain't just saying go move to your neighborhood. That black community. They want to say, yeah, we just need to get some money and move. That ain't gonna work. It's another move, and he talking about that tenant that's in your head, that evil person, that drug addict, that adulterer, that that wicked man that'll do anything to take advantage of his people to get financial gain, lining up his pockets. Like, you got to move that person out. That's the person that the Lord wants to move out, and the Lord is going to do it the way He's been doing it and the way He's done it in the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? He's going to completely melt that wickedness out of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, and you seeing it being done right now. All right, it's lucky. Verse 17. Or it's lucky. Verse 21. Yea, I will gather you and blow upon you in the fire of my wrath, and ye shall be melted in the midst thereof. As silver is melted in the midst of the furnace, so shall ye be melted in the midst thereof, and ye shall know that I, the Lord, have poured out my fury upon you. All right. So, the Most High has said it, has continued to say it, and will continue to say it until that plan comes to where, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, when we recognize, like the scriptures just said, that He is our power. Caesar Borgia are not your power. Your oppressor in America, Joe Biden, is not your power. Farrakhan, and he attacks you to Allah, that's not your power. You know what I'm saying? And all these other nations that, want to take black, Hispanics, and Native Indians, and they want us to serve their God, that's not our power. Our power is the Most High power. You know what I'm saying? That's written in the book that everybody want to claim hands on, which is called the Bible. And He is saying this. He is saying that He is going to bring a wrath upon this planet to make sure that He not only destroy the heathens that took advantage of us, overly took advantage of us, but also to move the wickedness out of Israel so that He can establish a place, for us to dwell according to how it should have been, His whole plan, to make sure that His people are holy unto Him. You know what I'm saying? And in their right capacity. All right, with that, I'm going to say Hamajim. Fanya Hakudam. And face the east. And we'll conclude with the Lord's Prayer. And this is the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malak Saba'ah, Ratazayika, Hayah, Aisha, Baharataza, Kaya, Hayah, Bashamayim, Latananawa, Lakam, Kal, Yawam, Wasalak Yanawa, Kabawath Yanawa, Kasalak Yanawa, Kabawath Yanawa, Wala'ah, Sabayahaya Nawa, Banasana 1, Habal, Hayashaya Nawa, Mayan, Ra, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha'ala, Wahaparas, Laiwa Yum. Amen. All right. In the English is Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debt as we forgive our debtors, and leave us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Next prayer is a cup, English to power. Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai, Barakatah, Babakashah. Nathanahu, Hakap, Larpa'ah, Kal Makalah, Wakal Madawa, Hakap, La Tahar, Amat Uriam, Hakap, La Hakwim, Mathiam, Hakap, Arakarwith, Hatama'ala, Lagarshim, Bashim Yahushua. The water, amen. In the English is Yahweh. In the name of Yahushua, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to the power to cleanse the leper, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you. So be it. Next prayer is going to be Barak, or blessing. Barakatah Yahweh wa Yahushua. Wa Maki Allah, wa Allahayim, Matazibiyah, Allah wa Yahana, Ha Alawampium, Azaranyam, Ha Quadza Tazayanyam, Ha Kakayawim, wa Ha Wathium, Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, the water, amen. And in the English is bless you, Yahweh, and Yahushua, and Michael, and the angels, Commanding General Yahweh, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua. Thank you. So be it. All right, next prayer is going to be Psalms 121. Ayasha'ah. It's like Ayasha'ah, Ayanyam, Al-Ahariam, my Ayan, Yaba'ah, Izariah, Ma'ayin Yahweh, Aisha, Shamayim, Waharataza, Al Yathan, Lamawat Regalia, Al Yanawam, Shamarka, Hanad La'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yayashan, Shawamar, Yasha'Allah, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Al Yad, Yom Yonka, Yawamam, Hashamash, La'a Kakalka, Wayarak, Allah Yalah, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Mkara, Yashamar, Ash Napashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taza'aska, Wa'afka, Ma'aitha, Wa'alai Walam. In the English, I will lift up my eyes into the hills, from whence forth cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. All right, next prayer is going to be Psalms 83. Alahaya, Al Damayalaka, Al Thashakwash, Wa Al Thashakwat, Al Kayahana, Hawabuka, Yahama Yawam, Wamashanayaka, Nasha'awa Ra'ash, Alaimaka, Yarma Yamwa, Sawa, Wayatha Awatazawa, Altazapawanyika, Amarwa, Lakawa, Wanakunkina, Wangalia, Wala'ah, Yazakar, Shum, Yasha'Allah, Iwa, Kaya, Nawa'ai Tazawa, Lard Yakadwa, Al Yaka, Bayath, Yakadwa, Alahaya, Ahoya, Adawam, Wa Yashma'alam, Ma Wahaba, Wahabarium, Lubar, Wa Imuwan, Wa Imalak, Halashath, I'm Yashavia, Tazawar Gamashawa, Nalawa, Haim, Hayawa, Zarawa, Labanyalawa, Shalah, Aishalahum, Kamadium, Kasa Yasara'ah, Kayabya, Banakar, Palashawan, Nashamadwa, Ba'ayan Da'a Ra, Hayadawa, Hayawa, Slaki, Dama, Lahadma, Shab Yathamwa, Nadayabmoa, Kayara, Waka Zahaba, Waka Zabak, Waka Tauzamana, Ka Nasiyakamwa, Ashar, Marwa, Na Rasha, Nalawa, Ath, Na Awath, Alahayam, Alahayab, Shayathamwa, Kagagu, Kakwash, Lapunya Rika, Kaash, Deba Ira, Wakala Abba, Velahut, Hariam, Don, Khan, Tharadatma, Basa Ira, Wabasa Wapathka, Fab Malahum, Malahun, Panyahum, Kualawan, Waya Abashwa, Shimka Yahawa, Yabashwa, Waya Abarwa, Ida, Waya Aparwa, Waya Abadwa, Waya Idwa, Kaya Hasa, Shimka Yahawa, Labadka, Al Yaka, Al Yawum, Al Ka, Harataza. Okay, and this is Psalms 83 in the English. Keep not thy silence, O God, and hold not thy peace. And be not still, O God, for lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come, and let us cut them off from being a nation. The name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. They have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, the Baal and Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur is also joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot Salah. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, and the roof Kasan which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like a Reb, and like Zael, yea, all their princes as Zabah, and as Zamuna, who said, Let us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession. O my God, make them like a wheel, as a stove before the wind, and as the fire burneth the wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name, O Lord. Let them be confounded in trouble forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou whose name alone is Yahweh, art the Most High, over all the earth. All right, so with that, I'll say Yahweh Bashim Yahshai, Rakatah, Yahweh Shema Bashim Yahshai, and that includes the ISPK for the Sabbath service. All right, shalom.